It's a great day. Welcome to another fantastic edition of the Land is Green Business Show on iMpact Radio 102.1 FM. It's great to be back. My name is Kehinde, I just say, and welcome to the show. With me in the studio today is the beautiful Zeno.
Zina Odu.
Yeah, she's going to be my co-host on the show. And today we have a phenomenal business mogul on the show. She's Talatu Ogunlana, the CEO of Rare Gems International. Welcome to the show, madam.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so how exactly did business start out for you?
Okay. Started out more like a passion for me. I grew up seeing my mom running her petty trade business, and I got interested, especially because of the numbers she was doing. I was seeing the money's coming in, so it was like a reward for work done that
Yeah.
is being seen. So that motivated me essentially into becoming an entrepreneur.
Okay, great. Before we go for that, Zena is going to read out the social media handles.
Okay, so you can reach us through the studio line numbers 0700 1021 1021. I go again 0700 1021 1021. And then on all our social media platforms, you could reach us through High Impact 1021 FM.
Great,
Thank you.
fantastic. Okay, so today's show would focus on growing from small to big, how you can scale and all that. So, but let's just backtrack a little bit. Before we came on live, you were talking about your mom, how she influenced you growing up. Can you just shed more light on
Okay, so she did a lot of businesses, a lot of small businesses, and I partook. I could remember helping her to hawk some of the wares she was selling literally. So I was on
Yeah.
the street, firsthand seeing how trade is being done, exchanging wares for money and all that. So for me, my own business started right after school. Immediately
Right after uni?
right after I went to a polytechnic.
Oh,
So
okay.
right after school, in fact, while I was in school, I was trading to fend for myself. I was doing petty business alongside. So it was business for me right from then. So when I left school, I ventured into different kind of businesses, jewelry, the fashion jewelry, the costume jewelry, as it were. I think that was where my first port of call was for business. And you know, I also had my mom, my mentor, as my first lender.
Wow.
So
How much did she lend you?
do we want to go over that again?
1 billion
Yes.
naira.
I don't want to be sounding cliche.
Okay.
It was 5,000, but this current generation will say they've come.
They've come.
Motivational speeches. So I'm not trying to motivate anybody, but if you get motivated, fine. But it's not to read out what is not. It was 5,000 naira in the year 2000. It wasn't much even as at then. The value wasn't so much, but it was good enough for me to hit the ground running. Yeah. So that was how it
Awesome.
started for me.
Awesome.
So I would want to come in like this. So capital is important for business, irrespective, because I've seen people with great ideas, but no capital to start. Or can you just start? Can you have a very good idea and just start from somewhere?
So absolutely, capital is the lifeblood of every business. But we've seen disruptions lately in the business world. We've seen some business models that do not require capital, as it were, or little capital, little to nothing, like the drop shipping model we are having now, where you find a supplier who has products that you can market because of the help of the internet, right?
Sure.
You can take pictures without necessarily having physical possessions of those items. So you take pictures of them, you get them at a lesser rate, what we know as wholesale rate. So you post on your social media handles or wherever you try to reach people through the internet, and you begin to sell. So when you have a request, you fall back on your supplier.
Okay.
So that's one model that has proven to work very well.
Okay. Also, you talked about going to school from and from what I know, you studied accounting.
Okay.
So I can say accounting is still business like. So from where did you go from? Okay, I went to school, I did accounting, or I want to. What was that turning point from accounting to business, full-time business? I know you said you seen your mom doing business, or where was that major decision? Why did you choose precious metals? Yeah, tons of businesses. You'd have chosen anything.
Okay, so I didn't start with precious metals, right?
Okay.
And the turning point for me would have been from the moment I saw this woman doing business,
Okay.
So for those close to me in school, I was always telling them, I will not, once I'm done, I'll go and start doing, something for myself. So I'd always known how I would go about it. I didn't know. There was no clear-cut channel for me to follow. I didn't really have my mother isn't learned, so I didn't have a mentor to look up to in that light, right? So I just knew she was doing buying and selling, and I followed suit. Then for the precious metals thing, I didn't start out with precious metals. Like I said, I started out with your very cheap fashion jewelry.
Okay.
Right, that was where we started from. But as time went on, as we began to grow, began to discover, other aspects of the business.
Okay.
Not just jewelry now. Precious metals is beyond jewelry. Is a huge investment.
Okay.
So for my company now, we look at not just the aesthetic aspect of precious metals, which is jewelry. We look at the investment aspect of precious metals, which is the gold bars and bullions.
Okay.
So we grew actually from fashion to fine jewelry, which is precious jewelry, then to the metals, the precious metals themselves in investment grades. Okay. So that's how the journey has been for us.
Okay, awesome. We're going on a short break. When we come back from the break, the conversation continues. Stay with us, don't go away.
The business terrain can be tough, challenging, and murky. You need to be armed with superior intelligence, resilience, and knowledge to be able to triumph. Do you desire to thrive in business and become a reference point? Then join us every Monday on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM for TLIG, the Land is Green Business Show. Showtime is on Monday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mopolu Shade, Shonaike, and Kehinde Ajose are your hosts. It promises to be educated, empowering, and thought-provoking.
The best music, the best people, the best talk on High Impact 102.1 FM. Watimagbo.
The business terrain can be tough, challenging, and murky. You need to be armed with superior intelligence, resilience, and knowledge to be able to triumph. Do you desire to thrive in business and become a reference point? Then join us every Monday on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM for TLIG, the Land is Green Business Show. Showtime is on Monday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mopolu Shade, Shonaike, and Kehinde Ajose are your hosts. It promises to be educated, empowering, and thought-provoking.
Okay, welcome back to our business talk show, and like I said, our number is 0700 1021 1021. I go again, 0700 1021 1021. You can reach us on our social platforms on Twitter and YouTube, High Impact 1021 FM, High Impact 1021 FM. Thank you. So here we have with us Mrs. Talatu Ogunlana.
This is Talatu Ogunlana. So let's now get to the heat of the matter. Let's talk about how to grow from small to big. What does it take to grow from small? So for someone out there who wants to scale, what are the principles and strategies you can share with us?
Okay. I would say there are no hard and fast rules to how to scale. It depends on the level you want to scale to, the peculiarity of your business. Every business has its own peculiarities, right? So what will work for industry A might not work for industry B. But the general rule for me would be, number one, a mindset thing. Yeah, it will be a mindset thing, because we'll find out that a whole lot of people have been limited, business people now have been limited in terms of growth due to their mindset. They don't even believe they can go beyond where they are. And you won't blame them, because it's actually intimidating to think big. It's not an easy task to picture your small business becoming a global one or a regional one, as it were. It's a lot of it takes a lot of muscle for you to think big, because that's where it starts from. So what you can't conceive in your heart concerning your business, the level your business can go to, you can't manifest. So it begins with a mindset that no matter where you are as a business person, no matter the level you are operating, there's the possibility for you to scale. It is possible for you to grow. No matter what you are doing right now, you can grow. It won't be easy, but it is possible. So that's where it starts from for me, the mindset thing. Because looking at where I'm coming from, if I don't have the mindset to grow, and when I say growth is a continuum.
Yes.
Yeah. So we
Definitely.
keep growing. Where we are right now is not the end point for us. We are still growing. So it's basically a mindset thing. Have it in your mind that you want to scale from that mama put in the corner that sells to only the bricklayer to someone who
Okay, can you hold that so we have a call? Hello? This is the Land is Green Business Show. Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Akin from Ebeda.
Akin from Ebeda. Welcome to the show.
Mrs. Ogunlana, a very quick one. Just two questions. These precious metals you are talking about aluminium, gold, silver, and bronze. Are you selling them physically, or you are trading them like trade forex and trade crypto? Then number two, I was trying to what do you call this thing? Retrieve this precious metal from computer motherboard and component, but I wasn't able to go ahead because of lack of how will I now training. Yeah, let me put that word. Are you willing to help in this aspect? I'll be listening to you at the other side of the radio.
Great. Thank you for calling.
Okay, Mr. Akin, thank you for the question. Thank you for calling in. So if I go to your question, the first question is whether we trade physically or digitally. So we're a dynamic company. We started trading physically, and recently, like 2 years ago, we went digital also. So you can get physical metals from us, gold and silver for now. You can get the physical metals. Then you can also trade digitally on our platforms, the web and our mobile app. So we operate both ways. Then coming to your second question, you are talking about scrap gold recycling. That's, if I understand you very well, because like our gadgets, our computers, our phones and all that, they contain some amount of gold. So right now we have set up a mini factory where we retrieve scrap gold from our technological equipment. We also launched our goldsmithing training, which covers recovery of gold. So you can register as a goldsmithing student in our academy. You will learn how to retrieve gold from your equipment, from your laptops and everything. Yes, we can help you. We are here to help you.
Okay, great. Thank you for the answer. So, now the caller mentioned a few questions. So, I'm tempted to ask that who are those that can just start, join your industry? What does it take to start? What does it take to join?
Okay. First off, the grit. It's not for the feeble-minded. It's daunting. You have to be prepared. You go through a lot in terms of learning. You have to learn, be ready to learn, so you need that knowledge to carry you through. You need focus, because to think that we've been talking about precious metals for over a decade as a company, and
wow.
And the message hasn't sunk deep. Like some people don't even, when you say gold, some people just think of an earring or a chain. That's all they think about. Some people don't know the same way you build your house, the same way you buy shares, that gold is an asset class. They don't know. So they don't even want to listen. They say, I don't wear gold. That's what they tell you. Meanwhile, in some climes in the Western world, and I thank God it's becoming popular in this climb, people buy gold bars and keep. When they appreciate, they sell. Even our local, our old grandparents and our foremothers, they had gold.
Yeah.
Yes, they had gold. If you look at the good books, you will see everybody, necessary good of gold, necessary good of silver. So as part of your assets, you are meant to have a percentage of precious metals, gold and silver, as part of. So these are the things, right? So you have to be focused, you have to be patient. Then it's highly capital intensive.
You need to have all the money in the world.
Not all the money in the world. Not all the money in the world, but then you need some good level of financial backing for you to really operate in that industry. Even though you can leverage on established institutions,
Okay.
You can leverage to learn, you can leverage to earn, like be a broker or something, without necessarily having so much. So it depends on the scale with which you are ready to play. You can start from somewhere. You can just start from somewhere, and there's always a place for you to start.
Great.
Yeah.
You can start small and grow
You can
big.
start small.
So what are the challenges of running your business and also being in that space, playing in that industry? What are the challenges?
Okay, so for me, number one would be driving the message home to the average person on the street, the average Nigerian, letting them know that your gold is not just what you wear for fashion, that it is actually an asset that will save you on a rainy day. It's an asset that appreciates in value. It's an asset that preserves your wealth from inflation. Okay, it's a safe haven for you, where you can store your money. It's a store of wealth. It's a store of value. So that will be one for me. Then much more importantly, capital, the finance to run your. It does get tough.
I think we have a caller on the line. Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hello. Akin call back from the weather.
Okay, once again, Mr. Akin. So, what's your question?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Madam Ogunlana. Now, in explaining my question, you made mention of gold and other. Now, this is my question. What is a relationship? Because what you are doing is close to what you are doing. I'm talking about Nigerian printing and knitting society. Security that prints our money. What is your relationship with them? So that not that when somebody will start doing this thing now, they will not come and say, okay, they don't have our permit, we are going to arrest you, you are a money launderer, and this and this and that. I'll listen again. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. We're going on a short break. Before she answers the question, we're going on a short break. When we come out from the break, the conversation continues. Stay with us.
The business terrain can be tough, challenging, and murky. You need to be armed with superior intelligence, resilience, and knowledge to be able to try on. Do you desire to thrive in business and become a reference point? Then join us every Monday on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM. for TLIG, the Land is Green Business Show. Showtime is on Monday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mopolu Shade, Shonaike, and Kehinde Ajose are your hosts. It promises to be educated, empowering, and thought-provoking.
Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 1021 FM. For more information,
call 0706 393 5694, 0915 958 1881, or 0902 745 3931.
Follow us on our social media platforms
at High Impact 1021 FM.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
The best music, the best people, the best talk on High Impact 102.1 FM. Watimagbo.
The business terrain can be tough, challenging, and murky. You need to be armed with superior intelligence, resilience, and knowledge to be able to triumph. Do you desire to thrive in business and become a reference point? Then join us every Monday on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM for TLIG, the Land is Green Business Show. Showtime is on Monday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mopolu Shade, Shonaike, and Kehinde Ajose are your hosts. It promises to be educated, empowering, and thought-provoking.
Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 1021 FM. For more information,
call 0706 393 5694, 0915 958 1881, or 0902 745 3931.
Follow us on our social media platforms
at High Impact 1021 FM.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
The business terrain can be tough, challenging, and murky. You need to be armed with superior intelligence, resilience, and knowledge to be able to triumph. Do you desire to thrive in business and become a reference point? Then join us every Monday on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM for TLIG, the Land is Green Business Show. Showtime is on Monday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mopolu Shade, Shonaike, and Kehinde Ajose are your hosts. It promises to be educated, empowering, and thought-provoking.
Okay, welcome back from the break. This is still the Land is Green Business Show on High Impact Radio, and I want to welcome you back from that break. We still have with us Talatu, Ogunlana, the CEO of Red Gems International, and we'll be having a new segment on the show. We'll be talking to the founder of a co-op, Mr. Jeff. Then we go back to the interview. So before we go on that segment, you were about telling us before we went on the break about the regulatory bodies in your industry.
Okay, so Mr. Aki was asking how the industry is being regulated. So there are various levels to the kind of regulation you will need, ranging from the Ministry of Mines and Steel, and the Securities and Exchange Commission, depending on the level at which you are playing. Or you can also operate as a cooperative. So you obtain a cooperative license. So it depends on the level you are operating at.
Okay, beautiful. So what are the other principles you would love to share when it comes to going from small to big?
Okay, so another principle that is important is structure, building structure in your business. Where there's no structure, your business cannot grow. Your business is only able to grow to the point to which you provide structure. Yeah, very beautiful. Very key. So you can't run the business anyhow and expect your business to grow. You don't have your records. You don't know the numbers you are doing. You don't know whether you are running at a loss, you're running at profit. You don't have roles for various individuals. You don't know who should do what. You can't. It gets to a point where it becomes overwhelming for you to do everything. At that point, it's only proper you delegate. It's proper you get the best hands to do what you need to what needs to be done in order for your business to grow. Otherwise, you're stunted or you go into extinction. One of the two happens. So structure is key. Is key.
Great. Structure is key.
It's
So
key.
so we go on that segment. We start segment with Mr. Jeff of EcoHub. Hello, Mr. Jeff. Hello, Mr. Jeff. Are you with us? Hello, Mr. Jeff. Are you with us? Okay, before we get back to Mr. Jeff, Bettina, do you have any question?
Okay. Basically, my other question would be, you said scaling, moving from small to big. So I've seen situations where people really have good mindset. They really want to grow, but then maybe it's not just the right time. I don't know. I've seen people try to grow and then you crash in the process of scaling or upgrading or growing. So when is it the right time for you to scale? When exactly? Or there's no right time, you just scale?
Well, no, there should be a right time for you to scale, and okay. So the timing for you to scale is actually determined by you.
Okay.
For instance, you were doing maybe 5 customers or clients a day. Now you are doing 30, and some of them are coming from Port Harcourt, some are coming from. So you begin to look at ways to make it easier to do business, such that everybody doesn't have to come to your one spot. Let's say you do very good moi moi, for instance, and you're in Ilupeju, and I'm staying in Agbara, and I just that taste of your moi moi is what I want to have. Every other one doesn't taste
nice.
The same. So you want to begin to look at either opening a branch around Agbara axis, or you look at a logistics arrangement, a partnership with a logistics company. That's also scaling. Who can deliver to people in Agbara that can't come to Ilupeju to buy your moi moi.
Okay, great. I think Mr. Jeff is back. Hello, Mr. Jeff.
Hello, good afternoon.
Oh, great to have you on the show. This is the Land is Green Business Show on High Impact Radio, and we'll be talking to Mr. Jeff of EcoHub. Can you just tell us about EcoHub and what you do at EcoHub?
Good day, everyone. My name is Blessed Agofre Jeffrey, also known by Jeffrey. Sorry. So EcoHub it's a brand that connects customers to business owners. Also, it's a B2B platform for both buyers and sellers too. And we also have like a premium service where we also offer from business to customers also.
Oh, awesome. So what are the challenges of running EcoHub?
To be sincere, it's a smooth process, and the challenges are just the bare minimum of in terms of getting I'm sorry about that. In terms of getting deliveries to customers out there.
Great. So let's talk about the value. What value is EcoHub adding? For someone who wants to be who wants to patronize your business, what would you tell that individual?
To be sincere, this is a platform that from at your comfort, people could see your product, people could buy your product locally and internationally, because we have this kind of optimization that drags attention to your particular product, to your particular item. So as an individual, you don't need to say, oh, you need to leave your comfort or you need to leave your place of work. By this app, you can get whatever you want at your comfort.
Okay, so how fast is the app? Right now, if is it very fast? If someone wants to get a business transaction done on it, How durable is it? How fast is it? How excellent is it?
At this point of time, we have our duration, but at the same time, our service is very swift, and I can bet you this is one of the best delivery service you can get. It depend on the 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 duration also.
Okay, Mr. Jeff. So how can people reach you? Anyone who wants to, you know, get their business on the
Uh,
co-op, patronize the brand, and all that.
the, the brand is online, is on Android also, and iPhone, so you can easily just go on your app and download Eco Hub. That's EKOHUB. So just search
EKOHB.
on
Okay.
Hub, Eco Hub, and for the website you say ecohub.ng. That's EKOHUB.ng. That's Nigeria. So once you get on the platform, you see our personal contact there. You see our phone numbers there. How you can reach us
Okay. Beautiful.
via email also.
Okay. Do you have social media handles? Are you on Instagram or on Twitter?
Yeah, we are on Instagram, also on Twitter. You can find us under Eco Hub. That's Eco EK_HU. Search on Instagram, search on Twitter, search on LinkedIn. We're all on all these platforms, whichever platform is visible for you.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Mr. Jeff. I wish you all the best with the co-op.
Thank you.
So, that has been a wonderful interview with Mr. Jeff of a co-op. We'll go on a short break. When we come out from the break, the conversation continues. Stay with us. Don't go away.
The business terrain can be tough, challenging, and murky. You need to be armed with superior intelligence, resilience, and knowledge to be able to try on. Do you desire to thrive in business and become a reference point? Then join us every Monday on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM for TLIG, the Land is Green Business Show. Showtime is on Monday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mopolu Shade, Shonaike, and Kende Ajose are your hosts. It promises to be educated, empowering, and thought-provoking.
Okay, you're welcome back to The Land is Green. And like I earlier said, our studio line is 0700 1021 1021. You can reach us on 0700 1021 1021 and on all our social media platforms for TIAG Africa TV Radio. You can reach us on all our social media platforms. So, Mrs. Talatu, our business tycoon. So, I have this question. From what you said earlier about scaling, so I discovered that it's about growth. When you get to grow, you also should scale so that you don't lose customers or you don't outburn yourself. So there's a time for growth. So my next question will be this. Speaking of having to watch your competitors, looking out for your competition in the market, because everybody is doing the same thing around you and you go to do that same thing, I don't know, are you going to succeed? Just watch out for your competitors. And as well as you said something about is it what you use in those days to reach out to people to be seen is not what you do now. You have to keep upgrading. So what are the new things? What are the things you're applying now in our society to be seen, and how you're expanding? Is it through social media, through one-on-one? How are you going about that other businesses can apply for themselves?
Yes, social media has played a vital role in the current realities of business. If you don't have a social media presence in whatever field you may be operating in, then you may be limiting yourself. Social media has contributed immensely to the growth of a lot of businesses. Case in point, our company, like I was sharing earlier, that we do over 90% of our transactions online. Over 90% of our transactions online across boards from different countries. people locate us, they contact us on our social media channels. So that's how social media has really helped us in growing as a business.
Oh, beautiful. So let's talk about what are these innovative steps? What are innovative steps? This question is a two-faced question. So, what innovative steps are you taking? Is your business taking to to get ahead, to stay ahead of competition? Then, two, what innovative steps can one take in these times? For a small business who wants to innovate, who wants to grow from small to big, what are the steps that can be taken to get to that point?
Okay. This would be a question that is relative, because it has to be, streamlined to what you are doing. So for us, what we are doing is in our industry, we are forerunners in digitizing the process of ownership of precious metals, such that you don't need to hold physical metals at every given point, or you don't need to travel for several miles to come and buy. You can shop online from any of our channels, our website, or through the app. You can do that easily. So it makes transactions seamless, unlike a decade ago where you need to come to wherever we were. You need to travel down to see whatever you are doing. So that for us is one of the ways we are being innovative to stay above waters and to continue to grow. So people should look at businesses should look at ways in which they can reinvent themselves, do things better. It could be your presentation. It could be maybe for a skincare product, for instance, getting to treat a particular skin issue that your product was not addressing before, or making additional lines to your business. Like we have grown over the years, added several lines to our businesses. We started from just fashion. We went into precious metals. At some point, we made our own watches. So different
you made your
things.
own watches?
Yes.
Wow.
So we have our own brand of. I'm wearing a Rare Gems watch, for instance.
Wow.
So and then we got to a point where we said, oh, look, the younger generation might not just want to start buying gold and keeping. So they want to do everything on their palms.
Yeah.
So we did the app and everything. So you should look at ways of reinventing yourself in order for you to grow and remain relevant.
Okay, so talking about reinvention, you've obviously reinvented yourself, moving from fashion to other niches, and you also spoke about digitizing the business. How exactly did you do that? And at what point did you decide that this is the time to take it to the next level and reinvent?
Okay, so it came in stages, not just one stage. When we look at when you've come to a point where it looks like your revenue is getting predictable and stagnant, you're not growing, you begin to look at what else to do, how else to do what you've been doing. You might not necessarily do something new. It might be a change in the way you were doing what you were doing, maybe adding more sales channels to. Maybe you were doing Instagram only before. You begin to look at WhatsApp, you begin to look at Telegram, you begin to look at other channels through which you can reach people easily. So that's one way that you can reinvent yourself. For us, COVID was a major point of decision for us to begin to, like, the digital gold now, because people were not moving. And we had attended a conference in Dubai, the Global Gold Conference, and the need for digitizing the process of trading metals was emphasized. And I immediately came back and informed my team that would be the way to go for us, and that really made a whole lot of difference for us, because if you look at post-COVID, things have not been the same. Things have not been the same. And the models of business that were adopted then, you find out that people are still holding on to them. You find out that most people don't come out anymore to shop. They will rather shop on an app, and a logistics company delivers to them. So you see, there has been a change, whether we like it or not. And if you've continued to operate a brick and mortar store without being online post-COVID, then you might be limiting yourself when it comes to revenue.
Definitely. So if you're just joining us, this is still the Land is Green business show on High Impact 102.1 FM, and we still have the phenomenal business tycoon Talatu Ogunlana of Red Gems International. So far she has shared with us on the need for you to have a growth mindset. If you want to take your business from small to big, you need to have a growth mindset. She also said that you need to reinvent yourself at some point. You shouldn't be selling. If, for example, you are selling moi, you shouldn't just stay at selling moi to those your neighbors or those your friends. You need to look at taking it beyond that level. Sell to those on your contact list on WhatsApp. Sell to your friends on Facebook. Sell to your friends on Instagram. And we've been having a wonderful conversation so far.
Okay. So well, as far as you said about reinventing yourself, you talked about going for a conference in Dubai. So, in as much as you're reinventing yourself, the ideas, I'm going to ask, is there a stage you had to go for special programs, develop yourself, your mental thinking, or it was just you thinking everything? There was no point you had to develop yourself with some other special conferences or programs thereabouts?
Thank you very much. So self-development or development as it were, because sometimes you are limited when you choose self. You have to broaden your reach. You have to reach out to people who have gone ahead of you. You have to reach out to people who are on the same field with you, or those who have really encountered some of the things you are yet to encounter, and you learn from them. So yes, I'm a student. I keep learning. I learn. I dedicate most hours of my night to learning, and I've also attended, while venturing into precious metals, I had to get trained by the London Bullion Market Association, the first Nigerian to be trained by the LBMA.
Do you have a shekari?
Nice.
So that you are well grounded when it comes to issues of your industry. So yes, self-development, education, keep improving yourself, keep adding value to yourself, and that will also show in whatever you do. Though there's no perfect system anywhere.
Sure.
We still have our challenges, but then you would scale through eventually.
Fantastic. So how do you do it? Because I know you don't work alone. It's not a one-man business. You have staff. You have a team you work with. What is the importance of getting the right people to work with, the right talents? And how has that helped you scale in business?
This is a very important one. The quality of the team you surround yourself with will determine the height you attain as a business, as an organization. I was speaking to my chief operations officer before I left the office for this meeting, and I looked at her. I said, Robbie, she's Roberta, but I love to call her Robbie. I said, Robbie, what would I have done without you guys? Because we were in a meeting earlier trying to address, the peculiarities of your business, some customers that can be, that can be good, So we're addressing it, and I said, the strength you people give me can't be quantified. Nobody, there's no man that is an island. You can't thrive alone. There's a limit to which you thrive alone. So I'm blessed with a very good team. I want to use the word blessed because it's not cast on stone for you to just go and pick people and say, yes, I've picked the best team. Well, I don't know the level of impact I've also made in their lives that is making them, give back so much. But we are doing great as a team, despite the challenges we have in running the kind of business we are running. It's very challenging for us. But then, when you look at the support you have, they give me a whole lot of support. They tell me, oh no, we can't afford to stop here. We need to. They also, just like I motivate them, they motivate me as well.
It's mutual.
That's great.
So what advice would you give to someone who is stuck in business, who has been in a particular business niche for years, and maybe the individual is tired, frustrated, and stuff like that, and the person wants to grow from point A to point B. The person wants to be able to make more impact, make more profit, make more sales. What would be your advice to that individual?
Yeah, this happens to all of us at one point or the other. You get frustrated, except your business is being run on rocket science. Like you get, especially in Nigeria, the peculiarities of doing business in Nigeria is different. We operate business differently from every other climb. So doing business in Nigeria is tedious. You get to that breaking point where you burn out. You don't even know the next thing to do. I've been there.
So what did you do?
So what you do is take a break. Most times it starts from the mind. Take a break, sit back. If possible, get one or two competent people who can tell you, who can look at the business from the give it a bird's eye view, from a third party view, that look, you are not doing this thing. Sometimes you are doing something you think is right. You think this is the right way to do it, but no, someone comes and says, no, don't do it this way. Why don't you try it this way? Why don't you make akara in the morning? Why are you making akara by 4 p.m.? Don't you think people will want to have akara as breakfast more than lunch or brunch? So why don't you change the timing? So if you are doing 10 liters of akara 4 p.m., you move it to morning and you are doing 20 liters. You find out that you've made more sales. You've tilted something that has changed the whole business. Sometimes it could be adding, like I said, adding lines, removing lines, or giving some incentives. Various ways. There are various ways that you can, pep up your business again.
Okay, so if you're listening to the show and you want to place an advert and partner with us, you can call us on 08083535857, 08083535857 at CLIG Africa TV Radio on our social media platform. So let's talk about, you spoke about, what did you have to do? I want to get a bit personal now. What did you do at that point? Because obviously you've experienced, you've had such an experience. What exactly did you do?
So reinvention for me is the mother of relevance.
Please say that again.
Reinvention for me is the mother of relevance. So most times I hit a brick wall. Most products that we've been able to come out with as part of our growth strategy have been products of such seasons in life when you hit a brick wall and it looks like the whole world is crumbling before you. So such times I just take a break, and before you know it, light comes, and you are picking up something to add to the business that would broaden your revenue, that will make you, that will make it more appealing to customers, right? Or clients, as the case may be. So you do something. Maybe if you were saying, okay, 5 days delivery to Ibadan is just next door. Why would it take me 5 days? So you look for a more competent logistics company that can do it next day. So somebody in Ibadan says, I picked this thing today in Lagos and I get it next day or same day. So those are ways you can pep up your business. You could be losing money just by that. Losing money for just one or two reasons. So it's finding out what it is and looking for a way around it.
Okay, let's talk about people who want to, I spoke about someone who is tired of business and all that, who wants to take it a step further. But let's talk about someone who has a negative mindset. Like you spoke about mindset, and someone will be listening to us and say, I'm tired, I have a negative mindset. Does a person's environment affect a person's mindset? What advice would you give someone who has a negative mindset? Would you tell the person to leave a particular environment?
Yes. Your environment plays a big role in your mindset. And when I say environment, it might not be the physical environment, even though sometimes it could be it could be the people you are surrounded with. It could be the kind of friends you talk to. It could be the kind of people around you. You might just need to have some more positive-minded people around you to give you that ginger,
Yes.
just someone that says, oh no, don't give up yet now, try this. But if you are surrounded with somebody that when you say, I'm tired, you say, you've tried, so just leave this thing and don't kill yourself, So, but there are some people that will say, okay, why don't you just try it this way, or why don't you push further? And sometimes the kind of business, now I'm talking of physical businesses now, not online, because when you're online, everybody sees you.
Yes.
But there are some locations you are physically. The market you are appealing to is not in that location. You understand? Some businesses are location specific.
Can you give us an example?
Okay. Let me think now.
So someone who sells shoes.
Okay, so you don't just sell shoes, you sell high grade pure leather shoes. And a pair of your shoes starts selling at 120,000, 150,000. And you are in my corner in Okokomaiko. I'm sorry, I grew up there, so if you are in Okokomaiko and you're hearing me, I'm not trying to belittle you. And I won't buy it because that's not my level at that point. So you need to look at the kind of clientele that will buy a 120,000 naira shoe. So maybe you want to look at, I won't mention locations. So you want to look at some other locations that these are the people I'm appealing to. You are probably making handmade pure leather wares that people will appreciate. Somebody will say, in that my location will say, this thing, if I go to Balogun, I'll get it for 5K. What is this? But someone in the other location that values what you're doing, say, oh, handmade and it's pure leather. Oh, okay, let me have it.
You're switching to the accent.
No, I'm not. I'm not. So that's how it works. Basically, you have to move towards, the market that you appeal to. I don't want to say the people, the market. So there's a market for every product. So you have to move towards the market that you appeal to, your product, your service. You have to look for them.
Okay, so you spoke about you were raised in Okokomaiko, and I want us to stay on that a bit before we round off the show. So because someone might be listening now and maybe limited by the background and say I was born in I won't say a ghetto. It's not a ghetto, but I was born in from a humble background and all that. What would be your advice for such an individual?
Okay, so the world presents us a platform that is an equalizer. The world presents us a platform that makes you achieve whatever you can achieve. That's what I believe. But you need to now be ready to put in the work. What do I need to do to bring me to that level where I want to be? So growing up for me, I was always admiring people that were doing good things, great things, not just necessarily money, but people that were changing lives, people that were doing things differently, that were contributing to the society in positive ways. Of course, we had more of magazines, newspapers then, not social media. So I had people I was already looking at, and I would want to say, okay, how did they get to where they are right now? What did they do? What kind of education, did they get? So these things are out there. It just takes, that determination for you to say, okay, it might not be easy. It won't be easy, but then eventually you get there. Eventually you get there. Someday, somehow, you'll be given a platform to express yourself. That thing that is innate in you, that you carry, that you want the world to know, that you want to express, will find a way if you don't give up. If I if I want to use myself as an example, some persons in my shoes would have given up a long time ago, because even where we are right now, we are still pushing to manifest, maximally. We are not fully there yet. So, but we are not giving up. We keep going one day at a time.
Yes, we ain't giving up. We keep going one day at a time. That's been the show for today. I want to thank you, Talatu Ogunlana, CEO of Rare Gems International. I want to thank you for joining us on the show. We've been inspired by the story, and I'm very sure our listeners have been inspired by the tips we've shared on today's edition of the Land is Green Business Show. My name is Kennedy. I just said thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much. My name is Zina Odu.
So we'll hear from us next time on the Land is Green Business Show. I am back on 2.1 FM. God bless you.
Thanks for having me.
This is radio like you have never known it. High Impact Radio 102.1 FM.
Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 10 High Impact 10 High Impact 10 High Impact